Hello again, my friends. Welcome to the Survive to Thrive TV show. Here we have another episode. My name is TheJayMaymi, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to visit us again for another episode that I believe will bring you lots of value as we continue to bring a program that is very diversified, not only in its content, but also in the guests that we have. Because I believe that learning from different people can also help you develop your own pursuits of success in whatever you're endeavoring. Different personalities bring different perspectives that can also help you with your performance. And today's no different. I'm sitting here with Sergeant Fit, and you'll find out in a minute why we call him Sergeant Fit. But I'm very excited for this episode because I met Sergeant Fit about a year ago in person. I had heard about him. I actually subscribed to his YouTube channel, and he was actually introduced to me by my son, who is one of his cadets in his ROTC program at the high school that he's working at. And I was very interested in what he was doing and how he was helping people, and his message was a very good message. And I thought to myself a year ago, I've got to get him on the show, and he's so busy with so many things that he's doing that I happened to lock him down today. Just happened to be out here at a national competition for ROTC, and he happened to be here as well. So we talked a little bit, and I said, let me get my phone so I can go ahead and tape him before I miss out on the opportunity. And you'll see in a minute why this opportunity is very valuable, not only to me personally and what I've learned so far from him and his life story, but also to be very valuable to you as well. So guys, I want you to help me welcome Sergeant Fit. The one thing that's impressive about him as I'm learning more about him, we have similar things in common. We both have been involved in a lifelong pursuit of fitness and fitness excellence and health excellence. And he's going to share a little bit about his story. But as I've gotten a chance to know him, he has been competitive in bodybuilding, powerlifting, martial arts. And what impressed me the most about him is his years of dedication, years of service, not only in the Air Force, but also in helping young adults really prepare for life as part of an ROTC program. And now recently he's launched his own YouTube channel, the Sergeant Fit YouTube channel, to continue to provide that dedication to serve in a different capacity, teaching health concepts and fitness concepts. But what really impressed me most about him was he's in his mid-60s, and he was sharing with me that he's getting ready to compete in a bodybuilding competition. I thought that was pretty awesome. I've thought about competing again myself in the next couple of years, but when he mentioned that he's about to compete, he's got a 16-week program, 16 weeks out from competition, and I knew right away he knew what he was talking about, because as you prepare for a competition, you normally start 16 weeks out, so I knew that he was serious about it. And as I got a chance to talk to him, what's more amazing, he's got all sorts of aches and pains, his knees busted, his shoulders busted, his hands busted. His hamstring has been busted for about 16 years. But it doesn't stop him from working out and cycling. And you'll get a chance to see, as I share with you, his current pre-bodybuilding pictures. When most guys or most people are getting ready to call it in and cash their chips in and thinking about retiring in the mid-60s, he's not slowing down. He's getting ready to compete in bodybuilding. So I wanted to bring you someone that I think has tremendous years of value, and he's going to continue to do that with his channel. And guys, I'm very excited to introduce you, Sergeant Fit. Sergeant Fit, I'd like for you to share your story with our viewers, because you've got quite a story.
Wow, okay, that's quite an intro right there. Well, I guess to really explain my story, you have to look at the two main influences that kind of steered me into fitness. And you would think that they're not related, but they actually do connect. The first one I remember as a young kid growing up in the early 60s, Steve Reeves, Hercules Unchained. My dad took me to that movie. And I guess that was the first time I actually saw a real bodybuilder, because back then you didn't see him on TV. I mean, we only had 3 channels. And they didn't have any bodybuilding contests that were being televised. And I was always a fan of weightlifting. I used to watch the Olympics, and every 4 years, always watch the Olympics. The triathletes, all these guys really impressed me. But Steve Reeves, that was really something. The other person that really influenced me, and this is going to be kind of weird, you might not even know this guy. His name is Jack Webb. Have you ever heard of him?
No, never heard of him.
All right. Jack Webb starred in a movie called The DI, and I believe he actually directed the movie. but he grew to fame on old time radio.
Okay.
Before we had TV, and I used to listen to the radio programs because they were still broadcasting through the late 50s and early 60s before they finally shut down. He created and produced a show called Dragnet. I don't know.
I've heard of Dragnet, sure.
Jack Webb and Dragnet. Okay, that's it. And he did this movie called The DI. I believe it came out in 1954, and I was up late one night watching TV as a young kid, and I saw it. It's all about this drill instructor in the Marine Corps. And I guess you can say it was the original Full Metal Jacket movie about a DI. And when I saw this guy in his tightly tailored uniform, how sharp he was, I said, you know what? I want to be a drill instructor. So I knew even then I was going to be a drill instructor. I didn't know what service I was going to join yet, but I knew they all had drill instructors. So as Steve Reeves got me interested in bodybuilding, and my dad bought me my first set of weights, and I started training. When I hit 17, I got permission to join the Air Force. I was a senior in high school, and I left when I was 18 in September. I had to wait for my job to come up. Joined the Air Force, and I met my first drill instructor, and darn if he didn't look like Jack Webb. I looked at this guy and go, this is just like Hollywood. This guy was so sharp, and he only had 2 stripes. He was one of the really young drill instructors at the time. In the Air Force, we call them military training instructors, MTIs or TIs for short. So it's like, I want to be that guy. This is the guy I want to be. So long story short, I became an Air Force drill instructor. Now, being in uniform, this is how it ties into the fitness aspect. You have to maintain weight standards. So the easiest way to do that is to train. So my love of training weights, and plus I was, before I became a drill instructor, I was an Air Force firefighter. And I talked our fire department into putting a gym in the fire department. So I was training there, I was training the base gym, and that's when I decided, you know what? I'm a competitive guy, let's do powerlifting. So I started doing powerlifting. But as I got bigger and my interest in bodybuilding grew even more, I mean, we were reading all the magazines, Arnold, and Frank Zane and all that. We even got our money together, went up to a professional bodybuilding meet, an IFBB meet up in Montreal, Canada, and I got to meet all those guys in person.
Wow.
Arnold was the first guy I met. When we got in the hotel, he was coming out of the restaurant. I just went right up to him, put up my hand to shake, and he walked by me like I wasn't there. And
motivation. That's motivation.
And guess who was walking right next to him talking to him?
Who?
Joe Weider himself.
Oh, wow.
And Joe Weider stopped in his tracks. Arnold kept on walking. Came up to me and apologized for what Arnold did.
Wow.
And even talked to me later on up in my floor by the room. He came out, he had the presidential suite. And he came over, called us over, asked us where we came from, and said, I hope you guys have a good time here. And he spent a good 10 minutes in the hall just talking to us.
Wow.
Now, the rest of the guys, Franco Colombo, Danny Padella, Boyer Culp, they were all gentlemen. Franco Colombo was hilarious. But anyways, so...
These are some names from the past. For those of you who've been in bodybuilding or the fitness world for a long time, I mean, these are classic names of the days of yore when bodybuilding started to really make an inroad in the culture.
Yeah.